Look, I'm not making this up. This is not clickbait. There are literal millions of people all around Iran celebrating the fact that Trump has killed the Ayatollah. Trump has killed Ali Khamenei, who was literally reigning in terror. And I just want to show you this clip because millions of people are 100% celebrating the fact that Trump actually did this. And we got to talk about the leftists. Leftists all over the place are literally melting down. And the fact is that this is what it looks like in Iran, but yet this is what it looks like in the United States of America. In Times Square, just in Times Square, people were literally protesting with the signs, "Keep your hands off Iran." Many different people having the same reaction on the left that they did with Venezuela. Now, it took less than 24 hours to kill a man who was in power for over 40 something years. Now let's actually take a look here. I know a lot of people will get the cheers, the chills, listening to these cheers of joy. Take a listen. So there you hear it, ladies and gentlemen, cars stopping. And then I really want to go here. Thousands of Iranians hit the streets tonight celebrating the U.S. and Israel taking out Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. And I had to ask Grok there on X. I had to ask, is this video recent and is it true? Is it propaganda? Because a lot of people are coming out and saying on the left, this is all propaganda. These people aren't really cheering. This is all fake. This is AI generated. So I have to ask, is this video recent? And yes, this video is from tonight in Tehran. Footage of Iranians celebrating U.S.-Israel strikes that hit Khamenei's compound and regime sites. Multiple outlets, Reuters, CNN, Times of Israel, confirm crowds dancing and shouting, "I love Trump." So I am not making this up. Now, again, we got to talk about the dangers of these strikes. We got to talk about Michael Knowles from the Daily Wire coming out and saying that Trump has taken a gamble that could pay off to make him one of the greatest presidents or just make him another George Bush or worse 2.0 if this turns into Iraq 2.0. We'll talk about that as well. But let's go to the video that I'm talking about here of the Iranian individuals celebrating. So again, why do we have two different reactions? Why do we have two different reactions? When you go to Times Square, when you go to Iran's protests here, when you go to Iran's home page and the people celebrating, then you go to the United States homepage and you realize that there are two different algorithms. I mean, what type of algorithms are these, right? When you look around, you see all these people melting down and you look at their signs and hands off Iran, right? They're all protesting the fact that Iran and Khamenei have been killed, but yet millions of people in Iran are celebrating. I mean, there's a huge disconnect between leftists in America and the reality of the world. Now, again, we can be anti-war. We could be anti-prolonged war, forever wars, right? This is not the first time Trump has struck anything, right? When it comes to Iran. So Trump has been going after Iran for a very long time. There's a lot of people on the right side, on the MAGA side, acting very surprised that this happened. Now, again, there's a lot of different people that would make arguments that we should not be fighting Israel's wars. I've been one of those people. But when it comes to this already being done, what's going to happen next? And the fact of the matter is, Iran wasn't as strong as people portrayed them to be. They just wasn't. So again, this is what you have. This is the separation. You have a whole bunch of people celebrating, and then in Times Square, what is this linked to? Why do you have people celebrating in Iran and people not celebrating in the United States of America? In fact, doing the opposite every time something happens, something deeper is going on. Money is definitely the root of this. And now you have, CNN having to report that they are forced to report that on the massive support in the streets of Los Angeles for Trump killing the Ayatollah. Here is CNN having to report that this seems like the right move to a lot of people that fled Iran into the United States of America. Take a listen.
The largest Iranian populations outside of the Middle East. You see the gathering there behind her. Julia, how is the Iranian community responding?
Well, this gathering has only grown, Jessica, over the past few hours, since we've gotten here. It has amassed a large number of people, and the celebration is striking. We got here just moments after initial rumors of the death of Ayatollah Khamenei had just started to trickle from Iran to this diaspora community, and people were jumping in excitement, hugging each other, crying, saying that basically they've been waiting 47 years for this very day, Jessica. It is the reason so many of them have come out here today. I want you to hear from one of them specifically, his thoughts right after learning that the supreme leader of Iran was dead.
When is the last time you saw people in Israel and Iran dancing on the streets in excitement? And when is the last time you've ever heard of a country coming out and dancing because they're excited that foreign powers are attacking them?
Now, the name of Reza Pahlavi has been at the tip of people's tongues here, Jessica. So these are very much people who are pro-Shah. They want to see a leadership emerge from Reza Pahlavi. They're calling for him to take over the reins. And their hope, they've told me, is that he would then lead a temporary government and hold elections in Iran.
So Reza Pahlavi, who has been pro-Trump, is the son of the Shah who was overthrown in the 1979 revolution in Iran. So, ladies and gentlemen, CNN was forced to report on this. Leftists are losing on this issue. Democrats are losing on this issue. You have Ilhan Omar, Mamdani, Hakeem Jeffries condemning Trump. Meanwhile, their own base is literally celebrating in the streets. I mean, that's how crazy this is. And again, major breaking news, President Trump personally confirmed the death of the Ayatollah Khomeini. He confirmed it himself. And he also told the people of Iran that it is your time. Your time has come. Last night, bringing chills. And again, I wasn't the biggest fan of this. But to say I did not get chills when I heard President Trump talk to the people of Iran in the way that he did about their freedom, take a listen to this.
Finally, to the great, proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations. For many years, you have asked for America's help, but you never got it. No president was willing to do what I am willing to do tonight. Now you have a president who is giving you what you want. So let's see how you respond. America is backing you with overwhelming strength and devastating force. Now is the time to seize control of your destiny and to unleash the prosperous and glorious future that is close within your reach. Finally, to
wow. So you guys heard that, man. I mean, that didn't bring chills to you. And again, there's a lot of people who are Iranian, who have fled to the Netherlands, have fled to the United States, Canada, Australia. I mean, Iranians are everywhere. And so, it just brings me to really realize, I mean, again, people are having fireworks and cheering. So People are cheering. Fireworks are going off. They're celebrating this. Again, you see Ilhan Omar, right? Just yesterday, she went viral. Ilhan Omar was against this. She was basically making these claims. She was getting fact checked left and right. We'll go to her X page so that way you guys can see she's been talking about this for some time now, and she's been getting fact checked. And everything she's talked about is this: Iraq was attacked by the United States of America during Ramadan, and it is sickening to know that the U.S. is again going to attack Iran during Ramadan. The U.S. apparently loves to strike Muslim countries during Ramadan, and I am convinced it isn't what these countries have done to violate international law, but who they worship. The problem here is the Iraq invasion began on March 20th, 2003, and major combat operations were declared over on May 1st, months before Ramadan that year. Surveys also show that in Iran, only 37% of the population identifies as Muslim. Majority of them are secular Christians or just Christians. So what is she talking about? This is the problem. And then Iran is attacking Qatar. Iran is attacking Dubai, right? And those are not Christian countries. Those are Muslim thriving countries, right? Muslims have attacked Christians in Nigeria and all over Africa. And these people don't give a damn. The Ayatollah killed 30,000 of his own people, and they didn't blink. They didn't say anything about that because they don't care about Christianity. They're anti-Christians. So I don't care what she has to say, man. Who cares about what Ilhan Omar has to say anymore? Because she's not credible. She's not keeping the same energy on both sides. So on the last topic, there's a lot of people dooming and glooming about this. Some people say I doom and gloom about this, whatever. I will say that this is something that if it works out as planned, could be a success. And if it doesn't, and it turns to Iraq 2.0, where there's a forever war and this thing doesn't end, that's a problem. But listen to Michael Knowles here, break down that same opinion. Take a listen.
If this goes south, President Trump is risking not only his foreign policy credibility, but perhaps his whole presidential legacy in precisely the way George W. Bush did. However, if this works, if the United States ousts the Ayatollah, who has been an enemy of the United States since the regime took power in 1979, if the United States succeeds in regime change in Iran and helps to bring about a more pro-Western and more popular regime there, this will be the greatest foreign policy accomplishment of any president in our lifetime since the end of the Cold War. So all of that to say, we don't know what's going to happen, and anyone who tells you what's going to happen tomorrow or the day after in a war is lying to you or ignorant. However, the one thing we know with certainty is the stakes could not possibly be higher for the White House.
Yeah. So I thought this was one of the best breakdowns to this situation because this is what makes most sense. I think everybody with an eye begins to see exactly what Trump's plan is and what the White House wants to do, what Israel wants to do. Will it work? Will it work? That's where we're at. Well, one thing we do know is that 40 Iranian top officials have officially died, along with the Ayatollah. So mission accomplished there. Now, what is going to happen with the people? What is going to happen with the guards and the remaining Ayatollahs? You know, the people from the Ayatollah. I mean, there's still missiles flying to Israel and flying to Qatar, flying to the UAE. We don't know what's going to happen. We cannot read the future, but we know that Trump's plan was regime change. He told people directly, that's what we want. That's what we need. And so we'll see. I'm not a fan of this regime change stuff because it never really works, right? But to say that the entire Middle East is destabilized, that's false because Saudi Arabia is thriving, Qatar is thriving, Kuwait is thriving, Dubai is thriving. So we know that these Muslim countries have allied and positioned themselves to be pro-United States of America and have a good working relationship with Israel. That has worked. The one that stands in the way is Iran. So I'm sure these Muslim countries are saying, well, we want to coexist with the West. We want to work with the West. We want to work with Trump. Trump literally went to the Middle East and try to establish relationships. So to say that we don't know what's going on, that's stupid. We do know what's going on. In fact, many pro-Israel personalities were mad that Trump was working with Qatar. But guess who's fighting with the United States of America right now? Qatar. They're not siding with Iran. They're not siding with the Islamic Republic. They're siding with Israel, the United States of America. So there's something going on here that has been brewing for a very long time because Trump created those relationships. What is going to be the outcome when all these countries want to see the end of the Islamic Republic in Iran? Those are the questions that we must find the answers to. You have to be a well-balanced individual to know that. To stand on the principles of being anti-war, but to know that Trump's never not bombed something or killed people that stood in the way of that peace. That's why he calls it peace through strength. So to act very surprised about this, to me, is stupid. Now, he is 100% taking a huge risk here because this can go very far left. But where are the allies of Iran? Where were the allies of Venezuela, Russia, and China? What happened? So we will see. We will pray that everything works out good. We will pray that exactly what we are seeing on the streets is the actual outcome in the next 20 years. Or more terrorism rises from that region because of what the United States has done. Let me know what you guys think about all of this down in the comments. Let me know what it is that you guys think about the people protesting in Times Square, which is crazy. I love you guys, and I will see you guys on the next one.